Happy New Year, Jenna!
What up?
It is season 5 of On The Porch with Front Porch Music. Can you believe it's been 5 seasons now?
I feel like I probably look like I've aged 5 years at least, so yeah.
Yeah, it's been a busy 5 years. We haven't slept a whole lot.
It was really exciting to think about starting our podcast, forcing you to start this podcast literally 5 years ago. And now we've been nominated for a CCMA award, a Canadian Podcast Award. I mean,
always
let's
a nominee,
keep going.
never a winner.
Wow. Wow. I'm personally very excited for our season premiere. One of my favorite artists, even growing up, I remember at the age of like 15 or 16 already, I was listening to her very early music. We are bringing a convo to you today with MacKenzie Porter. We gave her a pretty great intro, I must say, when we talked to her, which we don't normally do, but we had to run the credit reel just a little bit because she is insanely accomplished. She's an actress, she's a solo artist, she's also in a band now with her husband called Thelma and James. She is a very talented multi-instrumentalist. She's been playing a lot of banjo in the band.
So let's get right into it. Let's let that intro speak for itself.
Yeah.
Welcome to season 5 of On The Porch with Front Porch Music.
Thanks for sticking around, everyone.
On the front porch. Da 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 da.
On the front porch. On the front porch.
Welcome to the porch, MacKenzie Porter. To us, you're MacKenzie Porter, a multi-instrumentalist, a back-to-back CCMA Female Artist of the Year, and multi-CCMA and Juno nominee. The first Canadian woman since Shania Twain to have back-to-back-to-back number ones. Reminder before you, that was the early 2000s that we had that here in Canada. Mm-hmm. You're Dr. Samantha Hart on 911 Nashville, and you're a recurring role on both of our Spotify Wrapped the last few years. But before that, you were MacKenzie Porter growing up in Medicine Hat, Alberta, in a very musical family. So why don't you connect the dots between all of the things that I have said and where you kind of started?
Yeah.
Also, is it weird to sit there and listen to your credits being read back to you?
You know what? On the days where I need some motivation, I just need to call you guys and be like, "Can you tell me the credits again so I feel better?"
Can you? Yeah, we'll just record it and give it to you.
You're actually in my phone as multi-CCMA, award winner MacKenzie Porter.
That's how my husband, I make him put me in his phone with that too. No, I'm kidding.
And if that's a joke, it isn't anymore.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, I grew up outside of Medicine Hat, on a ranch with my family and my cousins and my grandparents, like super small, quaint upbringing. And music was just something that, my grandma plays the piano, my dad plays the guitar, my uncle plays the drums. It was just like a family thing that we did. But my mom really wanted us to be able to read music and study it. And I think it's now being a mom, I think it's so good for concentration and brain development and just calming, to not be in front of a screen, learning an instrument. It's a beautiful thing. So she really, put a lot of emphasis on that. And I studied classical music from 4 till 18.
4?
Yeah, 4. I think because my brother at the time, he would have been 8, I guess, or something like that, 7 or 8. And he was in it. So I wanted to, do it too. And, so I started really studying and didn't necessarily fall in love with classical music, but I fell in love with music and performing. And I started doing musical theater and dancing and just kind of a little circus dancing monkey. But I loved it. There was times where I didn't want to practice and stuff like that, but I loved performing. And that was just in my DNA. And so as I got older, I started, doing more musical theater, and that's when I kind of started wanting to act. And I found an acting coach at 14, or no, at maybe even younger, 12 or something like that, and started doing auditions. Got an agent. Then that agent helped me get meet management for music and a publisher, and it all kind of just it's been a long process of all of these things happening, but the one thing I will say is like from day one, that is all I've wanted. Like my parents will be like, they probably were like, unfortunately, she'll be in entertainment.
Unfortunately, there is no plan B.
Yeah, they're literally like, at one point my mom's like, you should just like go get a degree. And like I got into nursing school, and she's like, you should do a job shadow. I think I was with my aunt. She is a doctor, and I saw blood and like threw up. So I'm like, I don't think nursing is
Not a nurse.
it's not for me. But I was like, I will play one on TV though, or a doctor. But
Well, that foreshadowed something at least.
yeah, but no, it's just kind of like what I've always wanted, and I've kept my eye on the prize the whole time. And I read something the other day that was like, the people that don't make it, it's obviously not because of talent or because of even work ethic. It's that like they get tired of like the constant rejection, and for some reason I just have not got tired of it yet. Like every time I get rejected, which happens all the time in this industry, I'm just kind of like, I'll show you. And that's what drives me, because I just love it. So that's kind of how I started there. And I don't know if that answered your question, but
Yeah, it's your intro
Beautifully.
about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, love
So,
it.
being from Medicine Hat and doing all that entertainment coaching and all that stuff, were you constantly driving to Calgary or being driven to Calgary?
a lot of it was in Medicine Hat.
Oh, okay.
But I was auditioning, like once I started doing like TV and film, I was auditioning. And I remember like one time it was an audition for a movie with like Patrick Swayze and Carmen Electra, and it was a big movie for the area. And I got a call back, and my parents drove me because I was too young at the time, like I was like 15. They drove me to Edmonton, which is like 6 hours. I went in to an audition. I was in the audition room for maybe 25 seconds. And they're like, okay, you're good, you can leave. And I got back in the car, and they're like, how'd it go? I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, you know what? We're not going to do this anymore like that. We have to drive 6 hours home. It's just too much. Like, we can't do it, whatever. Anyways, and then I booked that role. So I don't know. I think they just wanted to see me like in person. I'm not really sure. But they literally like, we're not doing this anymore. It's too much work. And then like a week later, I was like, I got that part. So I guess we are doing it.
We gotta go back.
And then you booked it and you were like, back in the car.
Yeah. Which, I was so lucky because my mom, as a kid actor, you have to have a parent on set. My mom spent a lot of days with me on set, just like letting me live out my dream. And she had to. Now, like at the time, I'm like, yeah, you're a mom. Like that's what you have to do. And now being a mom, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like the sacrifice and the time that she has put into literally my career over all of the years is insane. So very grateful for that.
Yeah. So listening correctly, you were in fact in a movie with Patrick Swayze.
Yes. Yeah. I think it was his last film before he passed away, actually. But it was
crazy.
Patrick Swayze. It was Carmen Electra, Chris Kattan. It was like kind of like a Home Alone, like kids get lost in West Edmonton Mall, and there's like I can't remember honestly because it was so long ago. Something about like they must have had like some sort of money that they found, but it was like the bad guys' money. So the whole film is like they're getting chased around by these like bad guys in the West Edmonton Mall. Yeah, very very silly.
I love that. That's adorable.
It was a very very fun experience.
How did playing the fiddle become part of your repertoire? Because I visualize the family band that you have now mentioned. Everybody fits in a spot, and then they're like, we need a fiddle player.
Yeah,
he's gonna learn to play.
I think that was like my brother started playing violin, and that's where I wanted to like get it from too. So he really was the one who, at 8 years old or whatever, you have more an idea of like what you want to try. I feel like that's a very like exploratory age as a kid, and he wanted to try that, and I just wanted to like be like him. So I was like, I want to play too. So yeah, I started playing, and there was times like it's a lot of practicing for a young kid, and there was times that I like did not want to do it, but my mom made me because she's like, I can see that like you love performing and you really love this, like when you don't have to practice. So she just made me, and I'm really happy that she did.
Yeah, it's not like you're not playing fiddle on stage everywhere you go.
I don't know. Now it's like, now
Now she's the cool girl in the band.
honestly being like embarrassed by it, like in high school, like just, wasn't the coolest thing to do. But now I'm very proud to be able to like play, and I can play on our records and people ask me to play on theirs. So it's kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
That was me in high school with the piano, but then I never went back to it.
It actually scared you out of it.
It's
I have
hard.
a piano
Like,
right there,
work.
but
You could probably pick it up pretty fast if you tried.
I do when I'm home alone.
Yeah. It's just like a lot of work. It's like, another language if you're not like surrounded by it. Like you constantly have to practice and keep up with it. So, that takes a lot of discipline, really.
Absolutely. So when you grew up in Medicine Hat, in my head this is a small town. Am I dumb, or is it like a
It's
small city?
No, it's like I might be getting this wrong, but I want to say like 65,000 or something. But I grew up outside of that on a ranch.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like there wasn't stuff happening in Medicine Hat. I was like, where are we?
Yeah, no, it's pretty small, but they actually do have a really like good creative community and like lots of music and art, I guess. Like, and
I find a lot of small towns in Canada have quite the arts communities. Like
Yeah,
I currently live in a small city, and it's quite artistic, which is strange.
yeah, it's kind of awesome. I mean,
Mhm.
that's like, to me, it's like, what else is? I mean, of course, like people love sports and stuff like that, but I don't really care. But I'm like, what else is there to do other than just like, I don't know, like enjoy live music and go to, I don't know. Those are my favorite things. Like those are my favorite things to do.
I'd love to know the stat on like how many like artistic farmers per capita we have in comparison to other countries.
What's so crazy is like, I don't know that stat, but from Medicine Hat, there is a lot of like people that have become like pretty big. Like Terry Clark is from Medicine Hat. There's just a lot of people that have created pretty big careers from that town. So I feel like a lot of, farming is kind of artistic in its.
I was just going to say, it's so interesting. What on the ranch translates so easily?
A lot of time by yourself and able to just pass time by singing, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now you've lived thousands of kilometers away in Nashville. When you go home, are you like, this is a nice reset, a nice like quiet break, or is it like, oh my god, I need to see everybody, I need to make my rounds?
It can kind of be both. I mean, I haven't gone home for a while that I haven't been working. Usually when I go home, I like have a show and I'll like try to put on like some days before so I can hang with my family. But it is like I want to see people, but I do also kind of like revert back to like a kid a little bit where I'm like, Mom, can you take Bowen and can I sleep in? Like I'll drop, like if we're down, they have a room downstairs, I'll like drop Bowen in their bed in the morning and be like, we're going back to bed, like bye. But we don't have any family here, so it's like, I feel like it's okay for me to do that like twice a year.
Grandparent duty, here you go.
Yeah. That's amazing. Okay, I think we should talk. You had a lot going on over the last, in general, but the last few years. You drop your solo record, Nobody's Worth a Broken Heart. That was 2023. And then, yeah, I'm really trying to work back here. And then you had your daughter.
That was 2024, actually.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Then you had your daughter, and then you and your husband started doing something behind the scenes, sneaky, and you're on 911 Nashville. So solo record, solo career. How do you kind of prop that up so that it's like okay to try something different for a little while?
Yeah, I think like to me, I'm like, as long as we're putting out music and like keeping the ball rolling, it feels okay. I think like specifically in Canada, I hope I've built up a big enough like name for myself, I guess, that I can take a beat to start like a side project. But the thing was like there was no like actual plan. Like I don't have a lot of plans in my life. Just like, I wake up every day and I'm like, I want to be creative and like write songs and make art. And that, honestly, the whole band thing happened. Me and my last manager kind of like split ways, and I was like, okay, well, what's next? That was a big shift. And so like 2 or 3 days after him and I kind of broke up, I went into our studio, and Jake and I hadn't written a song for like 10 years. And I was like, hey, do you want to like just write tonight? Because I was kind of like feeling like bummed out. And we wrote a song, and I was like, okay, I'm going to bed, whatever, see ya. And the next day, Jake had bought a camera, like this like vintage camera off of our friend, and he's like, we should use this camera because I want to see how it works, and we'll just film that song that we wrote. And for the first time, I didn't have a manager to
say no,
say like,
Is this okay? Yeah.
or like be like, this is kind of off brand because it's like me and my husband now. So we just did it, and we threw it up, and like 24 hours later, it had like gone viral and kind of changed the trajectory of like this last year. Like that all happened December 16th of 20, like this, or like last year, I guess. So coming up on a year.
So this was truly like a spontaneous adventure.
There was no
like,
plan.
I remember when that video released, I remember Jen and I were talking about it. We're like, this had to have been a plan, and like the most like interesting and intricate like release plan of like behind the scenes. This is very fascinating.
No, there was no. I wish there was, because maybe we would have been like more prepared, because we had only written a verse chorus, we hadn't written the back half of the song, and so we had to go back and write it, and like then we had to the label was calling us and being like, okay, are you guys a band? And
yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like, no, we're
I was
married.
like, yeah, I was like, yeah, we're a band, just because I'm just like, let's go with whatever's working right now. And it was exciting and fun. And they're like, okay, well, what's the band's name? And I was like, let me call you right back. So I'm like, Jake, what's our band's name if we're going to be a band? And so that whole thing. So Thelma is my middle name. It's my great grandma's name. And then James is Jake's like actual legal name. So we're like, let's just use our names. That way we're not coming up with some random band name that like doesn't mean anything. And it's kind of like this like alter ego thing. It's a little bit like, more Americana than like my solo stuff. So I didn't want it to be like completely tied to it. It's like a whole different thing. So that's how that came to be. And the next day we were in the studio recording it. We signed a record deal. It all just like snowballed so fast, and we were trying to catch up with it a little bit. So yeah, like when you say there was a plan, like no. And if there was, maybe we could have like, we would have done it like smoother, but I don't think it would have worked the same way, because I think what people liked about it was that it was organic and like we weren't trying.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely it happens the way it needs to happen kind of
Totally.
scenario. So was there a moment like, so was that kind of the moment where you guys knew like, okay, well, let's like actually dig into this and explore it further? Or what was the conversation after that first?
Did you even have time to think about those questions? Or you're like, we're doing this, let's go.
It was kind of like, I think we had multiple conversations with like the head of the record label that I'm on about like, okay, so is this a thing? Like what's happening? And at this point, like the video is just kind of like continuing to build, and more like celebrities are commenting on it. So the head of Big Loud, my record label, was like, I think you should try to do this band. Like, let's just go with this. And then we had so many people, like big writers in town being like, we want to write the record. We want to help you write the record. So it would have been like crazy for us not to kind of go with it. But internally, Jake and I were like, okay, like, what does this mean? Like, are we working together now? Like, do we work well together now? I'm very, I'm a little bit more like type A. He's a little bit more type B. I'm like, is this going to be good for a relationship? Because that's obviously our number one at all times. And we just decided, like, we're having fun. Let's just see what happens. And then the Luke Combs tour came to be. So it's all just like been so natural.
When it comes
Spoiler, it's going well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We're in the middle. We just like turned in a couple more songs for the record that's going to come out next year to get mixed. So it's all happening, and it's pretty exciting.
After your first like shoot the shot, just put this online, whatever, when it comes to writing the rest of that song and the next songs, is there like pressure to match the magic that happened in the first one, or is it just kind of like, let's put it out there and just see what happens?
Kind of both. Like there was definitely pressure because, you know, we didn't want to be like just one song and then like fall off kind of thing. But also because it was happening so fast, it was like hard to like, I mean, we really just had to like go with the flow a little bit because there was no time to overthink it. We were really lucky. We wrote like the next song we wrote, we put up online too, and that also went viral. So that was like it was just a crazy time because I remember like, you know, as an artist, like those viral moments are so fleeting. Like they don't happen that often, or for me at least, they haven't. And so for the second one to go was like, okay, like this is a sign. Like I'm just a big believer in like signs, and I'm like, this is we have to just keep going because it feels like the doors are opening.
Sorry, keep going back to solo things because you are a massive solo artist in Canada. Your husband is also a solo artist. So were you both like in agreement that like we can let our thing live and we can come back to it whenever we want to or feel like it's right and we're going to focus 100% on this right now? Is that kind of where you're at?
Totally. Like I have a song obviously at country radio right now as a solo artist with my friend Owen, and yeah, I think it all can live. I just think there's no rules. You know what I mean? Like you can put solo music out, you can do acting things, you can do duo things, you can do collabs with other artists. Like, yeah, I think that this day and age in like music, I just don't think there's any rules anymore. You know, everyone's kind of doing everything, and as long as it's good, I think, then go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you when you're writing songs now too, are you sometimes finding like, oh, we're not going to do this one as Thelma and James, or are you stepping away and writing songs for yourself still? Like, how is that? Because you're a songwriter at heart too, so what are you doing to like feed your creative brain outside of the band?
Honestly, I haven't written a MacKenzie song all year, so yeah, which is kind of crazy. So I've just done Thelma and James stuff. But then
I mean, it has been a whirlwind, so where are you finding the like you need to spend the time on that?
Yeah. So, and because like, you know, we have this record deal, like we have to like fulfill it. So no, it's definitely been the main focus musically, but just outside of that creatively, I guess it would just be like the acting, you know, like I feel like that is such a creative outlet for me. And same with Jake, he's actually filming a show right now, so I'm on solo mom duties. But yeah, I think definitely next year I'll start writing solo stuff again.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, you do have a lot going on, and there's like lots of creative in your day-to-day regardless. How's your daughter as she's getting a little bit older? Are you seeing little twinkles of something that might be her musical talents or her creative talents, or are you letting her just like roam free in the world?
Kind of roam free, but she does love to sing and dance. Like Jake and I always we're just like so cheesy, and we'll like wake her up with like, we come in to like play a song, like, so it's like,
oh my god,
not
that's
in the
so cute.
not in the mornings because we're dead to the world. In the mornings we're just kind of like survive, but like at nap time we'll come in and sing like You Are My Sunshine, and he'll play the guitar, and she like will walk in her crib. But she's so actually at like an art class right now, so I definitely want art to be like in her just everyday life. Like her class this morning is basically like, here's a bunch of like paint and markers and whatever, and like go draw on the walls, go draw on yourself, like whatever you feel creatively. And so that's what she's doing right now. So I feel like art is that's kind of what we, you know, live, eat, and breathe in this house.
That's her
that sounds pretty
her
fun,
gateway
actually.
drug. She'll be in art class, and all of a sudden she'll be playing on the piano, and then all of a sudden she'll be
start playing the harmonica, which is very loud at all times.
Oh, no.
She's just like walking around like, yeah, it's hilarious.
And soon we'll be a 3-part band.
Yeah.
Selma, James, and Bowen.
You gotta put her on the payroll.
Earn your keep, kid. Can you think about like before you were having her, and like, I think there's like stereotypical things people think when you work in entertainment or you have big careers about how having kids might change that. Mm-hmm. Do you have any of those? Like, can you think of any of those things you thought before you had her and be like, fuck it. It literally, we did it regardless, and it's added to our lives, and it has nothing to do with these stereotypes.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like had so much fear around motherhood and like what that would do for my career, which it honestly makes me mad that I like thought that way before, because it's just a silly thought, but it is kind of ingrained in people, like, have a kid and your career's over, like, you know, as a female.
Yeah, it's not your fault to think that way either.
Yeah, so I had so much anxiety about it, but I kept thinking, and Jake and I kept talking, like, you know, in our life, our whole life, is this something that we want? Not only thinking about just our careers, because we love our careers, but it is a career, and it's not like we're so tight with our families, like super tight with my family, super tight with his family, and it's really important to us. And we're like, do we want that? And like, do we want to build our own? And it was always a yes. And so it just got to a point where I was like, okay, well, I guess we should probably do this if we're going to do it. And even when I was pregnant, I had a lot of anxiety. And then I had her, and I will say that, like, I've never been busier with work. I've never made more money.
Great timing.
It's been
Yep.
like she has added, and she is our lucky charm, and she like deepens me so much that I can, like, I'm a better creative. And it's hard, like the balance of just like the time of like what a child needs.
Totally.
They need to be
Yeah.
taken care of at all times, but it has only added to my career. So I would say that to like any female, if they're in this industry or whatever, and they're like worried about it, will it be like a lot more work and a lot more stress? Yeah, it will. But they will like deepen you. They deepen you, and it like opens a lot of doors, where it has for me anyways.
It gives you new perspective on why your mom sat on set with you and drove you all over the place.
I send stuff to my mom all the time, because like you don't know until you have a kid what your mom has like, or your parents sacrificed for you. And so I'm always like, thanks, Mom. Like, this is hard. Now I know what you've all had to put into it, and still puts into it, because she still helps me a lot with, you know, with my daughter. So, yeah, parents are pretty, you know, if they're good parents, they're pretty awesome.
They do a lot.
I love you,
Yeah.
Mom.
Literally, wait a minute.
Mom.
Take a second. So all that to say, Bowen has been your lucky charm. Is she in the studio with you guys sometimes? Like,
Oh, if you were to like solo like instruments on the record, you will hear like laughing in the background, crying in the background. There's one song on EP that you can hear like bath time. I mean, you can't hear it in the whole thing, but if you were to like solo like the piano part, you can hear like splashing in the bath, because she's all over the record. There's even like one of the songs has like a little like voice recording of her. So she is like, you know, she's all over it.
she's so a part of it. That's
Yep.
so sweet. Okay, so you do have a really big 2026. You casually mentioned the Luke Combs tour.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Is that your first? That's your first tour as Thelma and James.
First tour.
And you're hitting those stadiums.
I know. I was like, should we start in clubs? We're like, nah, we should go to stadiums.
Go big.
Yeah,
Maybe next time.
yeah. But it's gonna be really, really fun. I mean, Luke from the first video was commenting, and he commented on, you know, a bunch of them after, and his team just reached out to us and was like, do they want to open? And of course we were like, yeah, we do.
No, we'll have to get back to you. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, let me check my schedule. Yes. But yeah, so we're really excited. We're like building out the band and the show right now. I mean, it's a short little set, but it'll be such I don't know, such a cool experience, and like to get to do it together and to play those huge, like I was saying, like, even if it's half full, that's 30,000 people, half full. Like, because we're one of the first acts, so it's like maybe not everybody will be there, but even a quarter of them, it's still a lot of people. So yeah, we're just excited to get our music out in front of all those people.
It's going to be so huge. Now, does Bowen get to come with you, or is there going to be arrangements for her to stay home?
It'll be like a combo. Like if it's
Yeah.
close, or like a show that my parents are coming to, or Jake's parents, then of course we'll bring her and they can help during it, or our nanny will come. Or if it's like there's one show that's in Vegas, like we might, you know, my parents live sometimes in Palm Springs, so he might drop her in Palm Springs with my parents, and then I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's not do that
Yeah,
now.
no,
Then.
one thing at a time here.
Yeah, I don't know the schedule yet. I'm kind of a fly by the seat of my pants.
You know what? It always works out.
It does.
That's what we know from doing that, regardless. Okay, we are coming to the end, and this has been very fun. We wanted to do one little thing as like a little look back in the time capsule. If you just thinking about like the first 5 or 6 songs you released, this is a long time ago. Not because you're old, because you released music very young, by the way.
Or a combo.
This has triggered some people when I've said things like that. I'm looking at you, Dallas. But your first like 5 songs that you released, if you could re-release one of those right now, what would it be?
Oh, okay. Actually, I do know this one. So because I've like thought about it.
So this wasn't a creative thought. Awesome.
No. Because you brought it back up, and it's something that like I've thought. But so there's a song called "If You Ask Me To," which is a love song. At the time, Jake and I were just friends, but I really liked his voice, so he is actually the male harmony singer on that song. And I recorded it with Carolyn Dawn Johnson, and because I was staying at her house at the time, and I love her. She's like a big presence in my life, and I got Jake to come sing harmonies on it. And Carolyn, after he left, she's like, he is in love with you. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, he's not. Like, anyways, so that was like so long ago, but I do feel like that song could have a second life. And actually another person, Josh Ross, was like, we should re-record that song, And I was like, hell yeah, I would love to. So I do feel like that one at some point I would love to like reimagine.
I think if you and Josh Ross
and James
did a song together, that might break the Canadian airwaves.
I mean, I would be down. He was the one. He's like, I used to cover that song, and like that's one of my favorite songs. I was like, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That's crazy. Is there any of those like early songs that you'd be like, I wish we didn't put that one on the internet?
Oh,
or do you love them all?
No, there's a few like that, but and a few TV shows and like movies I've done that I'm like, oh God, I hope nobody sees that. But
hey, you got to make a paycheck somewhere.
Yeah, and I think every artist, like if you look at like all the big ones, there's a couple like duds they've released, but that's part of it. It's part of growth.
It's part of the story.
100%. Okay, so you did say you're working on a full album for next year for Thelma and James. What else can we look forward to from you and your role on 911 Nashville and other things you have coming up next year?
Yeah, the role in 911 is gonna definitely grow, or that's what I've been told, and it will grow throughout season 1 too, because that's what I've been filming right now. And I get to play like a lot of really cool medical stuff, but then a lot of personal stuff comes into it with her and her husband in the show. So hopefully season 2 on that, knock on wood. Hopefully season 2 on the runarounds, knock on wood. We'll see. We're just waiting on those, to hear. And then I think I'm gonna, hopefully want to put out some solo music again too. And then the Thelma and James record, a headlining tour with Thelma and James, and a bunch of festivals. And that's...
Selfishly, is Canada on your radar for Thelma and James headlining?
Oh yes, ma'am.
Specifically Ontario.
See you there. See you there.
There was we had a tour booked, and there was shows there, but then my filming schedule got too crazy, and so we're gonna move it to sometime next year.
Nice.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice.
Now, last question that I have: what is the craziest medical term that you've learned? And can you say it again or no?
I'm trying to think. Like, okay, wait. Oh, what did I say the other day? Tachycardic, which isn't like that crazy, but
I feel like a wild word. Yeah.
Yeah, tachycardic. He's there's been like a couple that, I mean, when I say my like lines, I have to like Google like every word. But as soon as I say them and I'm at the scene, they just like leave my brain.
Gone.
Yeah.
I never need this again.
I know. Like, one time, one of the directors was like, "Can you just like improvise some medical terms? You're on the phone with like a patient," and I was like, Tylenol. That's the only thing I can think of. And I'm like, I need to like know them better. But I have a lot of dialogue that is medical, but in one ear, out the other kind of vibes.
True.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it even never goes into one ear, I mean, that's what it would be for
Yeah.
me.
I did like a open like chest surgery the other day. I've done like a brain, like where I had to like saw through somebody's skull. So all of those scenes are coming up. So it's been pretty cool. I get to do a lot of very cool things. I did like cut some blowholes in somebody that was like basically like blowing up, and had to like do a scalpel and like release the pressure. So I can't
Badass.
remember the lines anymore, but it was pretty cool.
Do not call her if you need medical help. Let's be clear.
Unless you need some Tylenol, I can prescribe Tylenol.
Yes. Okay. We are coming to a close. Last thing. It's -3 and snowy here. It's what in Aurelia right now, Logan?
This morning when I woke up, it was -22.
Oh,
It's probably worse in Medicine Hat. Do you miss the cold?
I do. Okay, I love a snowy day, so I do love that, but I don't miss the cold. I do miss my
Yeah.
family, and I do miss like just like having all my friends around, but like not the cold.
Yeah.
Well,
Wish us well.
I
please.
do miss a snowy Christmas morning. That is pretty magical.
yeah, I agree.
Nashville gets some sometimes, no?
I mean, sometimes in January I feel like it gets worse, but I mean, right now like it's sunny out there. I might go for like a
Same,
walk,
but
a run.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the temperature is, but it's like pretty nice. What's the temperature?
You go do what we can't.
yeah, go
Right
enjoy
now.
the outside.
Okay, it's only 10. It's 10 degrees.
All right. There you go.
All right, Mackenzie, thank you so much for taking the time out of your crazy busy schedule to talk to us. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you guys so much. That was so fun.
Thanks for listening to another episode of On The Porch with Front Porch Music. We're so lucky to be able to chat with artists and make episodes like this one. If you like the podcast, remember to rate and review us, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. It's the easiest way to support the show. Remember to check out frontporchmusic.ca to keep up with new music releases, exclusive artist interviews, and more. We'll catch you again on The Porch in a couple of weeks. On The Porch is hosted by Logan Miller and Jenna Weiser, and produced and edited by Jason Saunders. That's me. Our theme song was written, produced, and performed by Owen Ridley.